Alright guys, this is what we're making today. The Mallory Mini Crossbody by Also Petite. Monica gave me permission to do her video, her pattern, and here it is. Absolutely adorable. I love it. I can't wait. I'm going to make another one out of leather. This is all faux. So here's the back. Here's the front. It's got one of my mini, thin, slim lock thumb locks on. You open it up, you have a huge hidden pocket back here, and then you have tons of room in here, and then you have three credit card slots. Very nice. I love it. So this is the Mallory Mini Crossbody by Also Petite. Go get the pattern. Let's get started. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to do a brand new pattern for me. I don't know how long it's been out. Let's see if we can determine that. It came out this year. I think it's fairly new. It's by Also Petite, the Mallory Mini Crossbody. So she's given me permission. Very nice, Monica. She's from the UK. She's given me permission to do this pattern. And she is going to do a 20% discount. So look in the description below. It'll be for a limited time. So go look in the description below for the discount. Let's get started. So the first thing is I'm doing version 2 of the card slots. So I have 2 pieces of pattern piece H. Front pocket H, version 2, non-frame fabric. Measure down from the pattern piece on the back and fold it down. This is Fierce by Tulip Bee collection. Love it. Okay. Then we're going to stitch across the top. I'm not using any interfacing. That's my plan anyway. I'm using Tex 70 thread. Black. Right. Cute. Now on the right side, we're going to measure down what she tells you to in the pattern. It's kind of an interesting measurement, so just be aware of that. I didn't know that I had a ruler to make this measurement, but I do. So I was pretty happy with that. Okay, there we go. I need pattern piece G, which is the top panel. Okay. And I'm using this black. I think this is from Fabric Therapy. I'm not really sure where I got it, honestly. Let me grab some clips. Okay, so we're going to make it let's see, a certain distance from the bottom. And clip that in place. So just like that. Then we're going to sew just along, hold on. Oh no, sorry. From the bottom of your line. Yeah, those clips aren't going to work. Let me get these. So the line that you made on your card slot piece, measure up from the bottom of your other piece, the distance it tells you to. Interesting. Then we're going to sew along that line and then down the side 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so there's my first line down here, and then we're just going to base these sides in place so they don't move. I'm going to try and keep my black thread in the trash can. We will see how successful I am. Yep. The back of this black is so luxurious. I mean, it's like leather. It's so nice. Very nice. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to measure down from the top of that one and place this one here. Interesting. Okay. And I just want to get them nice and even. That didn't look very even. There we go. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to sew across this line and base the sides. So by sewing across this line, you're getting these two card slots together. Very interesting. Okay, and then the same on the sides. Just base those 1/8 of an inch. On both sides. All right, there you go. That's what you have. Let's get a card and just see. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Look at that. Very interesting. So now take your bottom panel eye, mark where the line is, put some tape on, and we're going to fold that up to that line and stitch across the top. Very interesting. Okay, So this is your bottom panel eye. I love it. Now place the bottom panel eye on top of the pockets. Oh my. Down from this card slot. So just like this. Wow. Very interesting. Oh, and now we're going to clip this together. Clip these little guys together. Turn it over, and we're going to just stitch along the side, similar to what we did on the other two. Interesting. Okay. So actually, I think you end up having 3 card slots. 1, 2, 3. I love it. Now we're gonna flip this bottom piece out of the way, and we're gonna stitch a line across the line that we made. And we're just connecting those. Okay. So you just closed off that last card slot, basically. Very interesting. All right, so the next part is to install your thumb lock. I'm using one of my slim thumb locks. I don't know how it's going to go. We'll see. So on your pattern piece, you can mark a T, and that's where the top and the center of this portion of your thumb lock goes. So I already marked mine. Just make sure you pull your card slots up and out of the way. And make your mark and cut your holes. And I always have to make sure I'm getting this on right. Yep. And then I am going to wipe off all my marks. Because if I don't do it, I won't be able to get to it and it will look bad. Okay, so now let's put that on. I am using, since I'm not using any interfacing, I'm using a piece of Decaville Heavy on here. Put your washer on. And I always fold mine in. And then I'm going to give it a little small little whack. Okay. Then I am going to add a piece of fleece to cover that. This is some self-adhesive fleece, just scraps that I have. So we'll cover that so it doesn't rub on anything. So just like that. Perfect. Oh my. Okay, next step. All right, so measure this piece and trim from the top to the certain size that she tells you in the pattern. So I trimmed off about 1/4 inch, maybe a hair more. So then you have your side panels, panel D, and these should be mirrored. So keep that in mind when you're doing your cutting. And we're gonna lay these right sides together. You know, the thumb lock does make it a challenge. So it should measure the same as this side panel. If it doesn't, you might have to trim a little bit more off the top, and that's okay. And we're gonna sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. I'm gonna have to trim just a little bit more, and that's okay. Then we're gonna fold that over and top stitch on the side panel with that seam behind there. Nice. Much to trim. There might be just 1/8 of an inch at the most. So, and we're going to repeat that on this side. Monica, this is so cute so far. Very cute. Okay. And then fold that over and top stitch on there. Cute. Okay, I am going to trim this. All right, so here is our little front panel. 3 card slots, and it fits perfect. They're perfect. And my little thumb lock. Isn't that just the cutest little thing you've ever seen? It's so cute. All right, so I did change my mind. I put a piece of Decaville Light on this flat piece on the exterior piece. This leopard is a little stretchy, and I didn't want it to do any stretching. And I think flaps always need a little extra. The other thing I am going to do once I get this sewn is add an additional piece where the other part of my flap is going to go. Okay, so we're going to sew from here up and around the flap and back down. We're not sewing any of this straight edge. All right, I'm having a little, all right, there we go. At the seam allowance in the pattern, and I may run out of bobbin, we'll see. If I do, I do. So this is my flap, exterior and lining are right sides together. And if you feel more comfortable, feel free to mark your seam allowance if that helps you. I do sometimes. I maybe should have here, we'll see. You just want to get nice curves. Okay, not bad, Barb. All right, so now I am going to use my pinking shears, so I think that'll work with this and pink these curves. I'm just going to do all the way around. Yeah, this material, pink's pretty good. If you're new to bag making and don't have a pair of pinking shears, it's probably one of the good investments that you'll make. I've actually had these pinking shears, I don't know, 20 years. I've never sharpened them. Pinking shears are not meant to go through more than a couple layers. Depends on the thickness of the layer, but a vinyl and a piece of waterproof canvas is probably more than enough for pinking shears. All right, next. All right, so I stitched around there, and then the other thing I did do for this part of my flip lock or thumb lock, you see how wide it is? I added 4 pieces of Decaville Heavy right down here in the center. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna pull this out. I'm trying to hold on to those pieces so they don't move on me. I taped them on there. We'll see. Turn that right side out, punch all your corners, your curves. Yeah, it's still there, okay. I think it's going to be a really cute bag. Okay. And then we're going to top stitch right where we just turned it. Okay, so we're going to top stitch here and around. Yeah, I am glad that I put some Decaville in there. Oh, you know what? Let me check my All right, bobbin. I was almost out of bobbin. Good thing I checked. All right, let's do it. I'm going to go really slow because it's quite thick here. That wasn't too bad, actually. It's going to be covered right there anyway. Okay. Nice. I like it. All right, we're going to just baste the remaining edges. So I'm just going to clip those together. So baste all the way around. I might change my foot. There's no zipper in here, so I think I'm going to change my foot back. So, I think I'm going to put my tag back here. Let me get... Oh, sorry. I put my tag there. Very cute. So, take your exterior panel B, as in boy, and center your piece flap onto the bottom. Now, the bottom is rounded, and that's okay. And then we are going to, you'll notice that this isn't even, these sides, and that's okay. We're going to bring those together. She wants you to have a little poof there, as it should be. Every bag needs a little bit of poof, you know? And same over here. Let's do it from here. So there actually is quite a bit of poof. So that's the way it should be. And then we're going to baste that together just along the sides. And we will curve these bottom edges when we get there. Okay. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Oh my gosh. All right, now just curve your corners here. There's not much really to curve, just a little. Absolutely adorable. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make my D-ring, but we're not going to add them. She makes a very good point. She says she waits to add these until she gets her gusset on. Otherwise, they tend to get in the way, which is pretty smart. Smart, Monica. Okay, so this is 2 of them. I'll cut in cut in 2 pieces. I'm just going to sew down the sides. And then I'm going to cut those in 2. And grab my D-rings, 3/4 inch. I'm just going to baste them together at the bottom. Okay, so here's your 2 D-rings. I'm going to set those aside for just a few minutes. Now, we got our gusset. And we're going to take our front piece and we're going to add our gusset to the front piece. So I've got my gusset centered. I've got my main front piece centered. So we're going to put those right sides together and clip in place. We probably will need to clip our corners. We'll see. I think she talks about that. We'll see. I did not, I didn't put any Decaville or anything on this gusset. And it does have a little bit of a stretch. I'm going to go get a piece of it. All right, I just added it out of the seam allowance. I think I'll like that better. So let's center it up. Bring that to the top. on both sides. Sorry, very noisy. And then let's clip our gusset, half the seam allowance. Fits perfectly. Wow. Next step. All right, let's sew it all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard to see, but it's perfect. I love it. Next step. All right, let's trim. Oh my goodness, this is so loud. Sorry. Let's trim the seam allowance by half. I'm going to leave the top seam allowance about 1 inch from the top so I can fold it over. This material is a little thick, the black, so I want to be able to spread that out. Flat. Okay. Now this bottom is very thick, so I had to use some other scissors. Too many layers for my pinking shears. Okay. And then we're going to repeat that with this side. Very cute, you guys. Yeah. You know, you never know when you agree to do a pattern or you want to do a pattern, you just really sometimes you know, I shouldn't say almost never know, but Sometimes you don't know how it's going to turn out and what size it's actually going to be. For me, I have a hard time with that, knowing exactly the size. I'm just going to clip my corners again. I'm clipping the straight edge of my gusset. Okay, let's sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change mine. Let's do it. That'll hold everything down for me. There we go. And I would backstitch over where your flat meets, just to give it a little more stability. Cute. See if there's any puckers. I burnt that a little bit, didn't I? That's all right. Never see it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim that as well. See, this one has a lot more layers, so I'm not going to be able to use my pinking shears. That's okay. Again, I'm going to leave about the top inch unclipped. Very cute. All right, the next step is to attach our D-rings. And this is a little cumbersome. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my flap out of the way. Yeah, that will help. And then we're just going to baste those on. The top. So our D-rings are just like that, facing down, centered on our gusset. Okay, let's do this other one. That wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be a little more challenging, but it's not bad. And I agree with her. It's easier to do once you have the gussets sewn on, so everything's not in your way. Now I am going to flatten out my seams. I'm going to put some double-sided tape, just little pieces of double-sided tape. That's really not big enough, Barb. Here. And fold my top seams open so that they're flat. This black vinyl is very leather-like, so it's thick. And I don't want that seam to be extraordinarily thick. My machine can handle it, but it won't look as good if it's really thick. So just a little tape there, and we're gonna fold those over. Just like that. You'd be surprised how much just this little bit makes a difference on your top seam. So just like that, on all four corners. Perfect. Next up. All right, so for the lining, there's no pockets on the inside. So we're just going to add our gusset exactly the same way we did on the outside to both pieces. And my guess is we'll have to clip those corners as well. We'll see. Yeah. The gusset, clip your gusset. And I think the seam allowance is the same. Let me see. Oh, this is interesting. We're leaving a large opening on one side to turn it through. Interesting. Okay. Let me just double check the seam allowance. So the line gusset. Yep, same seam allowance. Interesting. Okay. So, because I'm using pretty thick, that black is pretty thick. I got to think about how big of a hole I want to leave. I don't think it matters. Just on one side. So I'm going to finish this one all the way around. You could definitely put a pocket in here if you wanted to. It's a small bag, doesn't really need it. my opinion. But some people really like tons of pockets, so this would be cute with a little slip pocket, or even a zipper pocket. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim it by about half. I'm just going to use my regular scissors. Leaving the top inch untrimmed. Okay. Perfect. Let's do the other side. I don't know what she calls this, if it's considered a beginner pattern. Let me see. Let me see if she says. I don't think she says. I would probably call it a beginner. Beginner to advanced beginner, only because of the curves. But like I always say, anybody can do any pattern. Gotta take your time. And this is actually a pretty quick sew. There's not a ton of pieces. It was pretty quick to cut out. This would probably be a good market seller too, because it's small. You can price it pretty reasonably. I don't know. All right, now I am going to leave a pretty good size hole. So, I'm going to leave a hole from here down to here. Living dangerously, guys. Living dangerously. All right, let's trim it. Except for our turning hole. This bag is probably a great size. I think my phone would fit it. Oh, I'm not going to trim that. Okay. Let's flatten out these corners, these top edges. But you could probably fit, I could fit my cell phone and probably a purse pal in here. And, you know, sunglasses. All you need. Day trip is perfect. I'm using some of my coveted black and white stripe. This is from Fabric Therapy. I don't know if she has it in stock right now or not. I've hoarded it. I've had this. Oh, I missed a piece. I've had this for a while. And I like it so much I haven't wanted to use it. I know. It's silly. I just decided I'm starting to use everything I have. Why not? There's always something new and gorgeous out on the horizon that you want. And if you hoard everything, you're just not going to be able to buy anything. You know? That's what I say. So I'm going to clip this in just a little so I can flatten those out. Perfect. Okay. So there I have my corners flattened. All right, let's turn our lining right side out. And we're going to put right sides together. So I'm going to put my hole on the back, I believe. Yeah, okay. So right sides together, and it's going to be a little squishy. Very interesting. Okay. Now we're just going to match up our side seams and our centers. And I probably will go over to Thor. I'm already thinking. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I will. Why not? So clip all the way around the top. And then your centers. Fits really well. My flap is kind of stuck down inside there, so it stays out of the way. So cute. I'm just going to do it here. I think I can do it here. That's my plan. Let's see. Here we go. did change my foot to my walking foot, so I think that'll help me. Here we go. You'll just squish it as you go. Just make sure your D-ring stays out of the way. Yeah, this isn't hard to do on a flatbed at all. Famous last words for turning it though. Monica, I'm in love with this bag. It's so cute. I can't wait to get it turned. All right. Use clips, so yeah, we're not going to trim the top. Okay, pull your lining out. This will be a test if I left a big enough hole. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to grab my flap. Let me find my flap. There we go. Just take your time. It's very pliable, so I mean, using a hairdryer here wouldn't really help me. So it's actually turning pretty good. I'm actually surprised. Let me go in here and grab my Now, I only use Decaville on the flap and the gusset, so I think that is in my favor. We'll see. It's actually kind of slippery. That's what I'm having a hard time with, it slipping through my hands. Let's do this. There we go. This black is very slippery, and so is the Leopard. It's not hard, it's a little... You guys, this is so cute. Not hard to turn, really isn't hard to turn. I would be careful on your interfacing. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's put it down just to see, and I think we're gonna top stitch. Let me just, yeah, let's top stitch before we, I'm gonna see. I wanna see what it looks like before I decide if I'm gonna close the hole or top stitch first. am going to top stitch first. I always like to do that in case I have to get back down in there. Oh my goodness gracious, this is adorable. So I'm just going to clip it all the way around. And I am going to probably go top stitch on my cylinder arm because I want to top stitch it from the outside. That is adorable. All right, let me get Thor threaded and we'll go over there. All right, let's do the top stitching on this cutie patootie. Now, you can fold your flap back, and I'm going to start on the back. I'm holding my threads. My thread got caught. There we go. There we go. I'm going to pull my thread to the back, to the inside, I should say. There we go. Thor has been behaving like a trooper. I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but he really has. Oh. Of course, I've been oiling him like crazy. There's even oil right here, which is fine. Okay, I'm gonna grab my stiletto. And if I can see it, pull that thread to the inside. There we go. You guys, that was a piece of cake. Hold your thread, find it, pull it to the inside, and tie off your threads. Now for me, I'm going to even out my threads. Time off. Oops. I lost one. Let me grab it. There we go. I don't know what you can see. Let's get you over here so you can see. I'm just tying my threads in the inside so that there's no outside knot. Oh my heavens.
One more. There we go. Burn that. Now we haven't made our strap yet, so we'll do that next. After I close up my turning hole. You guys, this is the cutest little bag, I'm telling you. If you like small bags, this is adorable. Okay. Let's close our turning hole. Hold your threads, bulb. Hold your threads, bulb. Okay, close up our turning hole. Let's put it back down in there. Turn you just a little. Hi guys. Let me see. Oh, sorry. There we go. That was way too close. All right, let's put it back down in there. Oh my gosh, it fits perfect. Now we just have to put our lock on and do our strap. Wow. All right, let me grab those materials. So I have the center, but I also, let me just measure. I would find the center. I have those extra pieces of Decaville Heavy that are on the inside. Yeah, that is right dead on center. Okay. And I have my 2 screws. Uh-oh. I dropped this 1 screw, so I'll have to find it. I have extra, darn it. All right, let's do it. Let me go find my other screw. All right, I haven't got another screw. Yeah, I think I said you can put glue in here if you want to. I don't think it needs it. Since I have all that Decaville in there, I don't think mine needs it, but it is really up to you. Okay. That is perfectly centered. I can't even believe I did it. These are those slim thumb locks. I just love them. Now, you could also put a turn lock in here if you wanted to. It's not really made for a turn lock because there's not enough room here, I don't think. So I would definitely use a thumb lock. There's a bunch of different kinds of thumb locks out there. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's even straight. So you open it up, you have 3 credit card slots, 1, 2, 3, and then you have a hidden pocket back here that is perfect for a cell phone. Oh my goodness gracious. And then you got the inside. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right, let's do the strap.
All right, so now I'm going to work on my strap. And I have 4 pieces. I already did and measured for the holes for my rivets. And then I also just kind of painted the back so that the sides aren't, because the back of this vinyl is kind of a gray. And I didn't want it showing through. All right. So that's what I've done. And I'll just drop that. I'll get it later. So I measured my strap, and I did 54 on my strap. Oh, I gotta go get a small piece. All right, so I cut a piece of vinyl, and I'm just putting it over the end of my strap. I have my slider on, I'm folding it over, and I'm just gonna do a little box or 2 rows of stitches. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna do a box. I'm gonna live dangerously. Now, I will encourage you. I'll show them to you here in a second. I didn't use them, but I actually should have. Is Leslie at Jolie Lee Creations, and I'll post a link in the description below. Sells templates to make these little boxes. It's perfect. Let me grab them. I did pretty good, though. I'm actually surprised. Okay. So she sells these templates. And you get like 5 or 6 templates. So, I mean, look at these. There's templates for every size. Now, if you want a narrow template, just use, like, this is a 1 inch. That would have been perfect for this. The 1 inch instead of using the big 1.5 inch, but you could use this one too. So you get 1, 2, 3, you get 4 templates in the pack. 1 for 2 inch, 1.5, 1, 3/4, and half. I keep them in the little bag that has a little hole on the top. So I keep them straight. That's perfect. All right, so now Monica has an interesting way of doing this. So she tells you to cut a V out of the strap. And I'm going to do it. Living dangerously. And then you're going to bring this together. So just like that. Then you're going to bring it together and baste it together. Interesting. So that it fits nicely in the strap connector. Very interesting. I have never seen that done. Burn it really good. It's going to be hidden, so it's not a big deal. But that's what it looks like. So it's narrower. Okay. And then we're going to add this to our strap. And I'm just testing it to make sure, yeah, where it's going to end up. Okay. Now I'm going to add some double-sided tape. here on both sides. And then I'm going to add some down the center. I already have my rivet holes cut. Okay, so just like that. Oh, I gotta bring this up. Oh. I gotta get my square ring, guys. Add your square ring. Make sure nothing's twisted. Okay, up and through your slider. So this is what you have. Okay, this is going to get our little short piece, just like a lot of the straps these days. Now we're going to add this right sides down, as far down as you can get it. Nice and centered. Then we're going to add our other strap right on top. Take your tape off down the center. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. I have a little foo-foos on my strap. I'm just going to burn those. Not on my strap, on my connector. And then there's just a tiny bit of overhang here. Don't over trim. I'm just here to tell you. Be careful about that. Okay, and now we're going to just sew around our strap. All the way around, 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to start down here because I'm going to back stitch, and I don't think it'll be seen there as well. So let's go all the way around. Take your time. Just go slow. Trim those threads. Burn any threads that are hanging out. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Can you see that good enough? Wow. Then we're going to add our 3/4 inch D-ring. And we're going to bring, let's see, let me find the right side here. Yeah. And we're going to bring that. Now, you can do more than one rivet. I think one rivet is fine. So here's the top of my slider, straight, and I'm just going to put one rivet. I actually might go ahead and do 2. I think I'm going to do 2. There's plenty of room to do too, so I'm going to do it. Let's mark it. There's one there, and I'm going to do another one right there. All right, let me get my stuff. I forgot to turn the camera on, but so I put 2 rivets. I just think it's not a big bag. It probably doesn't need 2 rivets, but I think it looks nice. So I just pulled those up and I just added both rivets. I haven't pressed them yet. So I'm gonna go press those and then we'll do the other side. All right, so let's finish this up. That looks really good. I like it. And let's finish this one. Add your shorter piece on your square ring here. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this as well. I'm gonna cut a piece out of the center. What a great idea this is. Now you got to be careful because this frays, so you'll have to just make sure that you burn it really good. See, it's already fraying like crazy. That's all right. It's gonna all be hidden, so just burn it like crazy. And then we're gonna stitch it together. Across the top. Nothing fancy. Same here. That's all there is to it. So on both ends, and then we're gonna put it through our square ring, oblong ring. And then I am gonna just stitch that together one more time. We have our strap ends, and we're gonna add those here, right in the center. Then we're going to take our other one and sandwich it. Right on top. Perfect, actually. Very happy with how that's turning out. Okay. Then we're going to stitch around, and again, I'm going to start over here so I can back stitch and it won't be seen. Go slow. It's a little awkward, I think. You know, big strap going and it's going so slow. Very doable though. Take your time. Okay. Let's see if I got the back evenly. Oh my, that's perfect. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to do 2. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 rivets. And there's a little tiny excess here. Make sure it's nice and even. One. Oh, that didn't go through. Perfect. And again here. And I'll go press those, and then we are done. This is the cutest little bag. I think I've made it quite a while. Absolutely adorable. The Mallory Mini Crossbody by Also Petite. Monica, you knocked it out of the park. It is so cute. So you've got a thumb lock right here. I'm using one of my thin thumb locks. So you open it up. You have a huge slip pocket back here. Let me grab my phone. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Perfect fit. Then you have tons of room inside. And then you have 1, 2, 3 credit card slots right here. This is a really cute bag. It's not meant to be something for everything you carry, but it would certainly carry, and there's the back and the front. That is absolutely adorable. Crossbody strap, adjustable crossbody strap. Let me put it on and I'll show you, kind of give you an idea how big it is. I mean, I like the thumb lock. You just push on it, pull it up, get what you need, get your phone out, put your phone back in, close it up. Absolutely adorable. Let me shorten it just a little. There we go. Oh my gosh. I had no idea it was going to be so cute. It looked cute. It looked cute. But like I said during the video, you just never know. This is a not hard pattern to do either. Oh my gosh, Mallory. I mean, Monica, I just love it. Also petite, the Mallory Mini Crossbody. Very different than many of the little crossbodies that are out there. Constructed totally different. I learned a few things. Thank you. Go get the pattern. Make one for yourself. This one will be available for sale on my website. This is all vinyl. This is the, I think this is the faux leather from Fabric Therapy. Very luxurious feel. And this is from Tulip Bee. Absolutely adorable. 1.5 inch adjustable crossbody. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click the thumbs up, like, and comment. Thanks. Have a great night. Bye-bye.